Well, Nigel, how do you reflect on a difficult afternoon here?
I don't know. It's a disastrous result for us and absolutely devastating to lose from the position we're in.
You can't have seen the final result coming because after 15 minutes you started superbly.
Yeah, you got 75 minutes to go, so I don't think any games won or lost in the first 15 minutes. We started well. We didn't take it on from there and get a second goal, which we should have done. They changed shape. We did the same. But all of a sudden, after 15 minutes, the way things we were doing, we stopped doing. And they got back into it, although we were very comfortable. It was funny because when Lee went through and the sending off happened, it's a yard outside the penalty area, and you just think, would you rather have the penalty and play against 11 men? Yes, definitely. But it's just outside. But it was a sending off. We shouldn't lose the game from that position.
What changed then?
We gave them a goal. Long throw in. First of all, we gave the long throw in away, which we didn't need to, and they throw it in the box. We clear it first phase, and we don't deal with the second phase. Bailey gets done at the far post, and all of a sudden their tails are up, and then Jordan and Aaron Lewis, for some reason, decide to start running forward when we haven't got the ball. They nick it back, and the lads in down the left hand side.
For much of that second half, Stags just couldn't get a foothold in the game, really, barring a few huffs and puffs.
Yeah, I thought we had enough situations though. We put the ball in the box in the last 10 or 15 minutes, and some very, very good defending, some fortuitous defending as well, and the way we are in the penalty area at the moment, we can't get a break in there.
Yeah, you had that spell, didn't you, where I think 4 players within the space of 10 seconds had an effort on goal just after they scored their second, but couldn't put it away.
No, we just need somebody to show a degree of composure. I think we hit the target a couple of times today, but Quinny had a good one, he missed hit and everything. Enough chances and situations today. I think Pimmy's had 3 saves in the whole game. But when you're playing against 10 men, you really have to limit those to almost 0.
And then at the end, you had a couple of chances through Elfie Kilgore, whom you brought on. Yeah,
it was bobbing around in the box there. I thought we put some good balls in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Flinty won some good headers, headed it down and everything. And once again, you just need somebody to pop up with a goal or a bit of luck, and we got neither.
It just didn't look like the Mansfield side that we've seen so often this season today, did it?
No, we've never looked that for the last 2 or 3 games, for whatever reason. It's difficult to put your finger on it, having had a fantastic period over Christmas. Certainly the 10-day break, probably looking back, didn't help us. Played all right against Wigan in the Cup, played very well against Wickham second half, and since then we've definitely struggled in the last 3 games.
Yeah, can you put your finger on it? You must have done much soul-searching.
Yeah, not at the moment, no. Whether we need a couple of new players to come in to give us an injection of freshness or something. But the main thing is for these lads to really start doing the jobs, and not 90%, 9 times out of 10, every single time. Because that's the only way we can get anything in this league. When we're competing where we are, against good sides, and these teams down the bottom are just as good. We talked about earlier on in the season when Cambridge came to ours and Shrewsbury today. They came to our place and we were fortunate in some ways to get the results. There's nothing in the league. If you're slightly off it, then you'll get done, just as we did today, whether it's against 10 men or 11. How
does Stags go about now getting back on that winning trail?
Try and do everything we can now to get ready for Friday night. This is a result which puts us, we've never been out the relegation battle, but I'd say it firmly puts us in it today. Because when you've lost 5 games on the spin, you don't know where your next point's coming from. And we did unbelievable to get to 37 points, we did. But I don't think we've been under any illusions, certainly myself and the staff, of what we were up against this season. And from day one, if you offered us 5th from bottom on goal difference, we'll take it, and I'll still take it now.
Yeah, you said that before a ball was kicked at the start of the season.
You realise now why I said it?
Well, I realised then. I think many still do.
Good.
Let's speak about players. You had to make a late change. Lewis Reed not in the 11. He was on the team sheet, but you had to bring George Maris in.
Yeah, he felt something in the warm-up. His glutes a little bit sore yesterday, but thought he was going to be okay. No, we'd much rather him do that, and then we can change it before ball's kicked. And Callum McDonald came onto the bench. Nice to see him get back on the pitch. He can actually register him, and he can play in the transfer window because there's no set squads. That's why he was involved today. But yeah, Reedy should be okay for next week. But another blow, having lost Deji and Fraser, and another blow for us. And Matty Craig, of course, would have been a direct replacement, but hamstring's not quite right.
Any updates on time frames for the players you mentioned?
Well, Deji and Fraser are going to be a good few weeks. Matty and Reedy, we hope to be available for Friday.
Monday, the transfer window slams shut. You said earlier that you're looking to get a couple. Is that it? Two players? And if so, what areas?
Yeah, I think so. We'll take any two good players at the moment. I think it's more about just bringing freshness in at the moment, who haven't been part certainly of the last 5 games, just to try and give us a lift.
Any likely to go out?
Unlikely, but you never know. Somebody, we've had certainly interest expressed for 1 or 2 of our lads. Although after today that might disappear.
Thanks as always.
Pleasure.